You can feel that humidity out there, can't you? It's Jason. Welcome to Drive Time. I'm dragging a little bit today, and I bet you are too, because of another incredibly late playoff start time. And I got to be honest, I thought that I was okay with the fact that these playoff games are starting at 8, 8:30, 9, 9:30. Because during the regular season, we've had enough of these games that start late because of television. And you like the trade-off. You're like, our teams are good enough to be on national TV. Fine. Yes, we can start at 8:30. Last night's Minnesota Wild game ended this morning. 651-461-9226. Do you wish these games started earlier? Did you have to sacrifice? Did you have to turn off the TV or turn off the radio last night because it was just too late? I'll tell you what I had to do. Well, and I didn't have to do it. And I guess I want you to judge me. I say this with all the hesitation that I should, knowing you guys at 651-461-9226. We left the Wild game last night, and I felt a little bad about it.
When did you leave the Wild game last night?
We made it through the first 20-minute overtime period where it was still tied. And my wife appeared to be ready to fall asleep. And I could totally blame this on her. So I may as well. She was so tired, Dan.
So are you prepared to apologize to Wild fans since you left early and they lost?
Yeah.
And you can't prove that your lack of presence wasn't integral to that loss?
I apologize for nothing.
See what kind of fan you are.
I'm not that good of a fan. I do not want to pretend to be like some sort of puck expert. I'm not. Is the vibe in Grand Casino Arena during especially a wild playoff game, it may be unparalleled in intensity, because there's something about hockey, especially when you're tied in the playoffs, where you're literally on the edge of your seat because any moment, the whole thing could change. And then in overtime, it's sudden death. So you're like, each rally or each run, you're like, oh my gosh, like here it is. Or like, oh no, here it comes, right? Like it's one or the other. So there is an intensity and a volume in that arena that's pretty cool. But like, man, 1 o'clock in the morning is late enough, right? Like at 1 a.m., I think you can leave. Maybe not. Maybe not. We're in here again tonight with the Timberwolves. Now, the Timberwolves are at home. The tip is at 8:30 tonight. So this thing is going to go until 11 at least, right? If you end in regulation, tonight's Wolves-Nuggets game. And they're tied 1 game apiece. Like, it's going to be super fun. Like, I'm going to be watching on TV.
They say game 3s are critical. Certainly felt that way last night and this morning.
It's always, each game is a must win, Dan, unless you lose it. And then the next one is a must win. Texters at 651-461-9226. My husband is now napping because of watching the Wild playoff game last night.
Smart man.
I was at the game, says a texter from the 507. I rode the Southwest Transit bus from Chaska. So I also had to wait 30 minutes after the game until everybody was on the bus. I got home at 2:10 in the morning. Oh,
oof.
brutal. It's brutal.
But they go on to say it was a really great game and totally worth it. So,
yeah, this was sort of my mindset last night, Dan, when I was thinking about
leaving early.
Well, so this is where I felt a little bit guilty because I had a friend who gave Alyssa and I tickets. And I think about myself as a kid. And as a kid, my family could not afford to do much of anything. I was one of 4 kids. We were fine, like you know what I mean? But that type of expense was not in the cards. And so I did feel a little bit of that guilt. Like, I grew up, you stay to the end. It doesn't matter. We bought these tickets. We're staying to the end. And so leaving early felt like felt a little bad, but it was time to go. Now, would I have felt better to be there and then they lost? No, I felt vindicated. Right? If they had won, I would have been so mad that I missed that moment. I would have been so mad. This texter makes a good point. We beg for playoff games. We really should not complain when they are on. Get over it. We can all survive a day with a little less sleep. I will say this. Don't you wish that we had the early game? Don't you wish we had the early game? I mean, I wish we had the early game. I think that is the frustrating thing, that our games seem to always be the late games. Now, the Minnesota Wild upcoming, the next 2 games are at pretty good times, right? So I think their next game is
Saturday, right?
Saturday at 4:30. So that's pretty good. So Saturday at 4:30 p.m. No, but I suppose
can't complain about that.
You could. You're like, you know what? Too early. Why aren't we in prime time? Now, this texter points out a real good point. We are going to the Vikings draft party at U.S. Bank. Minneapolis will be hopping by 11 o'clock tonight. I think that's true.
Yep.
And it will, we got to get these storms through here. And we did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning for Meeker, Stearns, and Wright counties. And so that is until 3:45.
That's areas like St. Augusta, Annandale, and Clearwater.
But I think these storms are supposed to be through here by, Timberwolves game time.
Early evening, yeah, for sure.
It's a heavy line. This line is running from Brainerd, right shy of St. Cloud, Litchfield, just kind of a north-south line.
Moving to the northeast. And the cell that's producing these severe thunderstorm warnings is going to skirt the metro, but there is a line that extends to the southwest that eventually looks like it's going to make its way and impact the metro area.
All right, so let's break. We'll keep an eye on these storms as they move through, but that latest severe thunderstorm warning, Meeker, Stearns, and Wright County until 3:45. We've got you covered on the storm. Taking your thoughts on these late start times, an 8:30 puck drop. Look, I mean, it'd be better if the Wild power play had anything going last night, and then maybe we wouldn't have needed to be there until 1 in the morning. Drive time, 651-461-9226.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
These severe weather days make me grateful for the terrific insurance coverage that I have with the Canopy Group at thecanopygroup.com. It's Jason here, encouraging you to make sure you've got the best coverage because, look, insurance rates have been going up and up and up, and I get it. If you had called your one insurance agent who represents one company and said, look, I got to save some money. Maybe you skimped on coverage, but maybe you don't have to. The Canopy Group does things differently. They represent 16 different companies. And the reality is they represent you. They're out there trying to get you the best coverage at the best price, and they do it year after year after year. When you call them the first time, and you're going to call them, at 800-967-3389. They will take your home, your zip code, your cars, your family, your needs, and then take it out the marketplace. They do the work. You sit back and enjoy the better coverage and the bigger savings. They'll call you right back. Be like, all right, here's what we got. For my family, we saved $820 in the first year, and then we got the peace of mind of knowing that the Canopy Group is going to run that same scenario year after year after year. And if it means you switch to company number 6 instead of number 16, they do it. They're all great. They're all fantastic. And they're all looking out for you. Check them out. The phone number is 800-967-3389, or you can start the process to get a quote online at thecanopygroup.com.
Did you know a single blood donation can save 3 lives? Amazing, right? All it takes is a visit to your nearest Memorial Blood Center's location or blood drive. Whether you're donating blood, plasma, or platelets, nothing beats the feeling of being a lifesaver. Be the reason someone gets back to planting their garden, walking their dog, or simply enjoying another sunny day. Make an appointment today at mbc.org. Walk-ins are always welcome.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't suffer through foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store. The Good Feet Arch Support System is designed to relieve pain and stress in the body with over 350 styles and sizes. Located in Maple Grove, Burnsville, Woodbury, and Roseville. Call 855-554-3338 or stop in for your complimentary fitting. In as little as 40 minutes, you could be walking out pain-free.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Hey, Jordana, I'm Brian. I'm 58 and single. I have a house, a bunch of investments. I have a sister I'm close to, but no kids or anything tying me down. So I never really worried about planning for the future. Recently, a friend of mine passed away unexpectedly without a will or a trust, and it created a huge mess for the family he left behind. I don't want to be a burden on my sister. I want to be prepared. So why should I choose Gutman Law?
Hi, Brian. Your instincts are correct. If you were to do nothing, the state would decide who's in charge and how to distribute your assets, which is probably not what you want. And your sister will have a lot to sort out by herself. Now, this is the reason why I chose Gutman Law. My family, Matt and Jamie, were so sensitive to the nuances of my situation after a divorce. An estate plan is more than just names and numbers on a piece of paper. It's family. Making it easy on them is what matters most. From healthcare directives to wills to living trusts, Gutman Law can help you determine what type of planning makes sense to protect you and your loved ones. 612-895-1616 or go to mnestatelaw.com. Gutman Law, giving you peace of mind today for tomorrow.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Steering you through what matters. Drive Time with DeRusha. Tuned up and rolling thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington.
Tom Lukanen on X says, I called 911 last night to report being held hostage at Grand Casino Arena by poorly played hockey.
Hello.
Late night. Yes, it was. Barb on YouTube saying, look, this is the risk that you have to be willing to accept when you choose to attend a sporting event that starts at almost 9 p.m. Just dumb, though, that a game with both teams in the central time zone starts so late. I think that's what's frustrating, and we know why this is.
Right? It's a TV show.
It's a TV show. It's a TV show. And I get it. And look, the TV aspect of it, we like being able to watch it.
Yeah.
But there are enough channels out there that, like, these conglomerates that own all of these channels could put it on another channel.
They could, and they could also lose revenue doing that, which they seem disinclined to do.
I mean, would they though?
At least a little, sure.
Very minimal, right? Like
Yeah,
if
well.
you, I don't know, maybe they wouldn't though,
No, they
because you got people. I mean, I suppose the people who are watching all of these games, it's a combination of really hardcore fans
Mhm.
and gamblers.
Yep.
Don't people have picture in picture?
It's eyeballs on commercials,
Just
baby.
watch them both.
That's what they're worried about.
Ugh.
You got to maximize the eyeballs on the commercials.
It is a bummer for, like, if you're a parent last night, you had to make that choice, right? Where you're like, do I let my kid stay up? I feel like this is a tough question, right? Like I had to face the decision, do I go home or do I wait it out for overtime period number 2? Now, if they went from overtime 1 to shootout, I would have for sure stayed for the shootout. But another potential 20 minutes, I was like, no.
You can't do a shootout in the playoffs.
I know. But you could.
What? Technically, you could.
Be fine.
No, not really. That would stink.
I don't know. What is...
Because it can't possibly match the drama of the moment where that game-winning goal gets scored.
I don't know.
Can't possibly
The
match
drama of a shootout is so high. It's so dramatic. I wouldn't mind a shootout. But what do I know? You know. Texters, what is more dangerous to our health? Losing sleep for daylight savings time or from late playoff hockey? Well, yes, if all of the same people who are losing their mind about daylight saving time and changing the clock, you guys should have the same freak out about these late starts. I turned to my wife in the third when we took the penalty, and I said, this is where they tie it, and we lose in overtime. I went to bed at the end of regulation. Minnesota sports fans are so fatalistic and also accurate.
So that person probably jinxed it worse than you did.
I know.
If they called it.
This texter, 763 guy, you are making me feel better about myself because you ruined it. It wasn't
your
me.
fault, Jason.
I think you is your vibe different if we're in round 2? So if my kids were of school age, I would have sent them to bed. I would have sent them to bed at the end of overtime. Like, sorry, you got to go to bed. You got to go to school tomorrow. Because this wasn't an elimination game. It was round 1. Like, I would have sent them to bed. Is that what you would have done as a parent?
Reasonable.
Do you send your kids to bed or not? 651-461-9226. I would have sent the kids to bed. Like,
you brought up round 2. Now is round 2 different?
Well,
it's not even the conference championship.
I don't know
at
if,
that point, right?
as a Wild fan, have we ever seen round 2?
Yes, they have. Been a minute, but they have.
When's the last time?
Was that run that they made to the conference championship?
Yeah.
Low those many years ago.
Yeah. I mean, I think if we actually saw round 2, I would be more inclined to let. It depends on age, right? Like if you're a high school kid, maybe it's a little off.
It depends on age. I think you drop.
But midnight is where I'm drawing the line. Without
depends on
doubt.
Is it an elimination game? Is it a championship round instead of an early round? I mean, all those factors I think factor in.
It's just annoying. As a fan, it's annoying. Like I'm not. Whatever. You're going to go to the game, and I will tell you from being inside the arena. The late start does have the Wild fan base maybe a little more lubricated.
Really?
By puck drop. Maybe
Feeling no pain?
Little. Now, I'm not quite sure, like, in baseball, they stopped serving alcohol at the
7th inning?
7th. I think they changed it. Didn't they change it because pitch clock made things go so quickly? Or they moved it to, like, the middle, in between the 8th? I don't know. I thought there was conversation about changing it. Where I sit, it's never an issue, Dan. Nobody.
That's right, because you don't sit with the great unwashed masses. Beer sales at Target Field generally stop at the end of the 8th inning now.
Wow.
This policy was extended from the end of the 7th inning to the 8th to accommodate faster game times resulting from the pitch clock. And I'm sure it had nothing to do with the fact that they were losing out on beer sales.
No. Texter's saying, Jason, it's completely situational. Like, how are the kids doing in school? What age are they? But if they were doing fine in school, they're probably in 3rd or 4th grade, maybe I'd let him stay home the next day.
Well, you'd never do that.
No, I think like Sam, for example, is in college. And one of the lessons that Sam's business school, I don't know that they wanted the kids to learn this, but it was a discussion. But over spring break, they went on a business trip overseas.
Right.
And they knew the kids were going to be partying. And they told the kids, because we were during Parents' Weekend, we were at the class where this professor was telling them this is how it's going to be. They told the kids, like, in the business world, you often are playing hard and working hard. And you have to learn, if you're going to be out until 1 or 2 in the morning and you have an important presentation the next day, you got to rally. And so they weren't telling the kids sort of the approach I grew up under, which is
don't do it.
Don't party.
Yeah.
They told them, make your choices, but you have to step up on the other side. So I don't think, I don't know if I would let my kids stay home the next day. But I think the texture's right. If the kid's doing well in school and they want to stay up, fine.
I remember when I was first going to college.
It's just you have to do this every night now. It's like we did it last night. My kids were both like super fans of every Minnesota team. So you're doing it tonight. You're doing it yesterday. You're doing it again. And you're like, could we make someone else have a late game in this country?
When I was first going to college, I remember being told very specifically, don't, if you, as few times as possible, if you can, don't schedule a class before 9 a.m.
Oh, right.
And I'm thinking coming out of high school, I've been getting up, to go to high school by 7:40 or whatever it was every day. 9 a.m. What are you talking about? I can do an 8 o'clock class. That's nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Learned very quickly. That's not nothing. And this individual that was saying don't take classes before 9 a.m. was 100% correct.
Our friend Heather Rule was working, covering the Wild game.
Yes.
And
diligently.
Said she shut her eyes around 5 a.m.
Woof.
After working, which would have been 3 a.m. if it were a normal prime time. That's a significant difference.
Oh, yeah.
3 a.m. bedtime feels rough. 5 a.m. feels, nuclear rough.
3 a.m. it's still dark at least. 5 a.m. you're pushing twilight era.
This goes to my theory of there is a fine line between late at night and early in the morning. Like this was another lesson I tried to tell Seth, the oldest, when he came home the first winter break from college, that in life there is a fine line between coming home late in the evening and getting home early in the morning. And I, as a parent, would prefer you would be on the late of the evening side of that line. And for me, that line is 2 a.m.
Okay.
2 a.m.
I think that's more than that's generous.
It's generous, but he's
college.
Yeah. 2 a.m. is like, late night. 3 a.m., early morning.
Early morning, yeah.
I think that's the line.
That's fair.
Let's break in a minute. We saw a post online today about the rudest behavior you've ever seen in public. Oh, so many possibilities. I want to hear your rude, and you get to vent about other people here. What is the rudest thing you've seen someone else do in public? 651-461-9226. Drive time back on a rainy, stormy Thursday evening.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
When the weather is not ideal, it is ideal time to get yourself to a shopping mall, and nowhere better than the Galleria in Edina. I was just talking to Chad about J.H. & Sons at the Galleria. Chad had a wedding last weekend, and he looked good. Thanks to J.H. & Sons. What is the difference? There's so many places you can buy men's clothing. You can go online. You can go to a big box store. The difference is service, and if you really care about how you look, you care about how you're treated, right? Because a new suit or a new shirt or a new pair of pants, it's not just about the clothing. It's about the way you feel about yourself. For me, I always feel more confident when I'm wearing something new or wearing something I like. Today, right now, I came in wearing a jacket that I got at J.H. & Sons. My pants are from J.H. & Sons. I feel good. You deserve that same feeling. And you can get it by going to see Kevin or Bryce or Dean or Chuck or any of the great people at J.H. & Sons at the Galleria in Edina. The Halberstadts have been doing it in Minnesota for more than 50 years. Let them take care of you. Experience that difference. Go get yourself a great suit. Sign up for their email list, too. You can do it at jhandsons.com.
It gets still before it happens. 17 at Hazeltine. There's watching it. And then there's being there. You feel it in your chest. Thousands rise. One shot, and everything explodes. The KPMG Women's PGA Championship returns June 25th through the 28th. And Club PGA puts you right by the 17th green. Shaded, comfortable, drink in hand, with the best view of the moment everyone comes to see. This is where it happens. Get your Club PGA access now at WCCOradio.com/events.
Hey, you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. We got a show and it's Guys and Dolls at Chan and Dinner Theaters. It's terrific and delicious because you got dinner and a show. Don't take my word. Everybody's loving it. The Pioneer Press called it a must-see. Star Tribune called it eye-popping and blazing with brilliance. I heard a lady from Eden Prairie say this is the best show she's ever seen at the Chan. Grab your doll or your guy. Get your family over here for Guys and Dolls. Visit ChanHasItDT.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Breaking news for your home. Way Day. Wayfair's big sale is almost here, and you can score the best deals in home, like up to 80% off everything home. Yes, you heard that right. 80% off with free shipping on everything. Plus surprise flash deals all Way Day long. We're talking outdoor furniture and essentials, rugs, and more. All at Wayfair, and all up to 80% off during Way Day. Shop Wayfair's Way Day from April 25th through 27th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Hi, this is Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Since taking office, I have delivered more than $65 million in investments back to our district. I'm also fighting to hold ICE agents accountable in Minneapolis. First and foremost, my office is here to help you. If you need to resolve issues with your Social Security or veteran benefits, please reach out to my team at omar.house.gov. When Washington isn't working for you, I will.
Paid for by official funds, authorized by the House of
Jordana here for my friends at Mini Leaf. Hear what they're saying about this brand I love.
Tell me about your experience with the night gummies.
I started using them. I think this was my third order. I heard Jordana on WCCO radio talking about it, and I thought, well, if she's doing it, trying to get off the Ambien, and I started with the pineapple gummies for sleep. That's what I take them for, is sleep. And I've been very pleased with the product. I started with the full gummy. Now I only take half, and that helps me sleep. So I'm very happy with the product. And I'm 70 years old, so.
And those sleep night gummies will help her sleep painlessly through the night. Those sleep night gummies are a real charm. Check out Mini Leaf's products at MINNELEAF.com. Check out that Triple Diamond Pain Cream, those sleep night gummies, or their other great products. I use them. There's so many CCOers that absolutely love them. You will too.
Mini Leaf means quality. Taste happy at minileaf.com.
The home of Minnesota's best legal products.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Update brought to you by Linda's Construction, lindasconstruction.com. I run into a little bit of rain. Make sure you're buckled up and the headlights are on. Looking at 494, got your slowdowns on the eastbound side as you make way between, well, basically West Bush Lake Road to Cedar Avenue. Highway 169 slows both directions between Highway 7 and Medicine Lake Road. Watching slowdowns on 494 northbound as you make way between Rockford Road and the Fish Lake Interchange. Protect your home before spring storms arrive. Choose GAF Asphalt Shingles and receive free installation labor this April. Go to lindasconstruction.com. Jerry Peterson, Utah K3O WCCO.
You sit on your deck and you're sick of looking at your crappy siding.
Type JTR on your computer for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and more. JTR Roofing has you covered from the roof on down, serving the Twin Cities Metro. For a free estimate, visit jtrroofinginc.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Forecast brought to you by JTR Roofing. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect right now for parts of Meeker, Stearns, and Wright County just for about another 7 minutes. Here's Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Showers and thunderstorms are possible till that cold front clears. Hail and wind the main concerns. Things clear out tonight and calm down. 46 the overnight low. Plenty of sunshine for our Friday. It's going to be cooler, but the high still slightly above average, around 63. Mostly cloudy will match that high on Saturday. Rain showers moving in late Sunday.
Right now in downtown Minneapolis, a little bit of drizzle at 66 on CCO.
Jason DeRusha
is worth, I'm going to go $350 million. Net worth is estimated to be approximately $500 million. One of the highest paid media personalities we have today.
Also deeply insecure.
Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
I don't know if we're more rude in public than we used to be. I think we are. I think we're a little more self-absorbed. We're a little more individualistic, sort of a like, screw you, I can do what I want attitude out there, which results in things like what our political expert Chris Cillizza talked about. And I want to know your rudest thing that you've seen in public at 651-461-9226. Chris says, guy on a speakerphone in a coffee shop for 10 minutes. Another guy, not me, politely asks him to use headphones or to hold the phone to his ear. The guy refuses and acts like he's been deeply insulted. That's pretty rude. Now, I don't know where you are, Dan, on the on the people on a Zoom call at a coffee shop. I will say, I'm not particularly bothered by somebody talking in a phone call because it doesn't bother me if you're sitting there with another person talking. Right. So it's a little weird, but it doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me if you're on a Zoom call while you're wearing headphones and I hear your end of the conversation.
Agreed.
That's fine.
Yes.
If I got to hear the whole Zoom call, that's a problem.
Right.
That's a problem.
The speakerphone, that's so rude.
That's just it. And you nailed it. This is, I'm taking care of my business and I don't give a fig what it does to anybody else. And this is part of, and I've harped on this and harped on this and harped on this. This is part of something, a grotesque thing that has grown up in our culture where we have decided we don't have to worry about what our impact on anybody else around us at any time. I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. And you can either stay out of my way or get run over. I don't care. And there's 1,000 examples of that from people, walking down the middle of the sidewalk and then just stopping and getting bumped into. I mean, it's people that are driving around. We see this all the time in downtown Minneapolis. I get people get confused in downtown Minneapolis, but you can't just stop in the middle of the street. Pull over to a curb and figure out where it is you're going, but don't just stop in the middle of the street. You're going to cause an accident and get a bunch of people hurt. This is it drives me absolutely insane when I've got my call I've got to take and I'm going to take it on speakerphone because I don't want to hold the phone up to my ear or put in earbuds or whatever it is. So guess what? You have to listen to my call now. I don't care about you. This is all about me.
Poll indicates that nearly half of Americans say people have gotten ruder since the pandemic. I do think that I think that's unquestionably true. And we always have pearl clutched about public behavior, right? We're losing our morals, we're losing our whatever. And a lot of times I think that's a little overrated. But almost half Americans saying that we're ruder than we used to be. That's pretty interesting. Matthew and Blaine at 651-461-9226. Thanks for listening, Matthew. Give me your rude in public story.
Well, hey, Jason, good to hear you. I got a little pet peeve here. I don't have a new car, and it's not the greatest car in the world, but I park away from other people because I don't want somebody opening the door and giving it more dings.
Smart.
So I get to the gym. I park as far away as you can from the front door, across the whole parking lot. I come out. This guy in this big vehicle is parked so close to me, I can barely open my door to get in.
Yeah.
Now, this guy was not doing this by accident.
No.
I think that's pretty particularly rude, don't you?
That's unbelievable. Man, that frosts me too, Matthew. It really drives me nuts when somebody And you think, why?
I was tempted to wait till he came back out and asked him what his problem was, but who knows how long that would have been.
That's right. That's right. Thanks, Matthew. That is a very good example where you're like, what? Why?
Right, because it's one thing if you're in a crowded space, right?
Yep.
The parking ramps that you and I park in,
Fine.
they pack them in there. I get it, right? That happens when you're packed in a dense area. But when you're doing Matthew's bit of going out of your way to park far away,
it's pretty bad.
And there's 15 spots open around you, and this ding dong pulls right up to your driver's side door. Ugh.
Texter says, driving to work on Highway 7, a guy with big hairy arms putting on deodorant. Open Jeep. No one needs to see that at 7 a.m. That's so weird.
That is very strange.
Now, I mean, last night I went to dinner before I went to the Wild game, and I did in the parking lot outside of Aubergine and Solo Vino in St. Paul, I did change my shirt, which is sort of disgusting or a little treat for someone.
Enjoy the show.
I don't know. Is that rude? I don't think that's too rude. Well, you can tell me. I don't know. Rudeness is in the eye of the beholder. Pete is in Minneapolis. Pete, rude public behavior. What do you got?
It's getting worse every year. So I like to walk around or ride my bike around the Lake Harriet after work.
Yeah.
And more every year, these people are riding their bikes or going around in their cars with their music blaring. People going on there to relax,
Yeah.
And the rule is you shouldn't be able to hear your music within like 15 feet or something. But it's just getting, I don't want to hear your music when I'm on my walk, I think that is so rude.
I agree, Pete.
People are there to relax.
Yeah, and some of it is people who have you see people with the speaker tied onto the back of their bike or onto the...
Exactly.
That drives me nuts too. And I know what I try to do, if I want to listen to music, which usually I don't when I'm biking, right? Like I want to hear nature and I also want to know what is going on so I can hear if a car is coming or something. But I will
I like to listen to the Twins game but I use earbuds.
And I'll put one earbud in, one earbud out so I can still sort of hear my surroundings,
That's what I do. Exactly. Same thing.
Pete, if everybody would just follow what we're doing, the world would be a much better place, I think.
It totally would. It really would.
Thanks, Pete. Let's go to Tom in Burnsville. Rudeness in public, Tom. What do you have?
I just got a comment on that, on the guy with the parking lot, with the guy parked right next to him. So many, many years ago, I'm not proud of it, but I will say I took my two young daughters, they were 3 and 4, to the Mall of America, and that same thing happened where somebody parked on a curb. I took my side cutters off. I cut his air intake for his tires.
Wow.
Both tires went flat. I was not real impressed when I got home. They told their mother. So it didn't go
no. They ratted you out?
Oh, yeah, right away. Right away.
See, you can't trust your own kids, Tom. You just can't. Yeah. They don't have your back. They don't have your back. There goes Tom. That's pretty funny. 651-461-9226. Probably the rudest behavior I've seen is people being totally absorbed in their cell phone during a funeral. Oh, that is next level. It's disrespectful. I've seen it several times now. I know it's hard. We're all we have this Pavlovian response whenever you have a moment of boredom to get out your phone.
But it's a funeral, man.
Funeral's
It's
rough.
a funeral.
I mean, sometimes though you're going to the funeral, you're there to pay tribute to the friend of the deceased or family member.
Sure.
So, like, maybe you got to catch up on the news.
Not really.
Maybe you
well, because if it's that, if it's that casual, aren't you just kind of making an appearance and then lighting out of there? You're not staying for the full thing.
Let's get to Mike at Lakeville quick. Mike, rudeness in public. Go ahead.
Jason, how you doing? I
Good.
listen to your show all the time.
Thank you.
Hey, Matthew there, when he called in, I know what he's talking about. I got locked in one day at a holiday by a truck that sat about half mile up in the air, it seemed like. And I'm not flexible anymore to get in the passenger side over the console.
It's annoying, isn't it? I see this all the time, and and I get that sometimes you have this giant pickup truck or giant SUV, and maybe it takes up more space than you intended. But
I mean, there's been times when I've been able to get in, but I could not even
no good.
Get the door open.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Lots of good text too. We may continue with this. We may talk about the governor of Minnesota, who is writing a book, starting a PAC on a Los Angeles TV show. Who's running Minnesota right now? We'll talk about that sometime as we continue here on CC.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
So just this week, I had Pro Turf out at my house. It's Jason here for the awesome team, awesome local team at Pro Turf, which you can find at professionalturf.com. A friend of mine was asking me the other day about Pro Turf. And look, these guys have been in business for more than 40 years in Minnesota. That is unbelievable. And they have team members who've been a part of the Pro Turf family for 20 plus years. That is unheard of in the landscaping business. And that tells you all you need to know about the quality, the integrity, the honesty. Pro Turf is not going to let you down. They took my lawn from blah to ta-da. I just came up with that right now. That's pretty good. Professionalturf.com is where you can go to sign up for lawn care. Yes, they'll come and do weed control, fertilizing. They'll give you an estimate at your house to design a system that works just for you. Now, they were at my house this week to turn on the sprinkler system. And let me tell you, this is a money saver because Pro Turf comes out. Yeah, you could turn on your sprinkler system. It's not that hard. But Pro Turf comes out and identifies leaks in the system, fixes them, and that is saving me money because you know how expensive your water bill gets if you have an irrigation system. Reach out. They'll design a landscape plan for you, too, if you want a new patio or new paver driveway, all sorts of options that you can check out at professionalturf.com. You can call them, too, 952-469-8680. That's Pro Turf.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
When you're in pain, you need the Good Feet store. Don't waste another minute suffering from foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store. You might feel the difference immediately.
I walked right into the Good Feet store and I tried the Good Feet Arch Support System, and my hip pain is gone.
The Good Feet Arch Support System is designed to put your foot in the most ideal position, redistributing the body weight more evenly, helping to relieve pain and stress in the body.
That nagging pain in my lower back, gone.
The Good Feet store has over 350 styles and sizes to relieve your pain.
I've always had bad knees. I've had 6 surgeries and I could never do a knee bend. Now I'm working out and it's just wonderful.
Located in Maple Grove, Burnsville, Woodbury, and Roseville. Call 855-554-3338 or stop in for your complimentary fitting. In as little as 40 minutes, you could be walking out pain-free.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
What's with the encyclopedia?
The word Corbin symbolizes intelligence and foresight.
Is that important?
Sure is, because Corbin is also the name of Barufka's popular bedroom collection for people with the foresight and intelligence to understand long-term value.
A platform bed with sleek, modern lines, ideal for smaller bedrooms. And clutter-free functionality with integrated AC and USB outlets.
I can finally get my extension cords back.
Available in solid oak, maple, and cherry.
The patented Barufka's bracket assures everything will stay tight. Built in Minnesota, a queen bed is Craftsman Direct priced from $21.75 or $91 per month for 24 months.
It says here Corbin also means raven or crow.
It's time for me to fly.
Oh, Jim. Barufka's, no gimmicks, haggling, or hard to understand pricing in Woodbury, Burnsville, and Minnetonka.
Decidedly different.
In digital advertising, everyone talks about clicks, but clicks don't pay the bills. Sales do. Outcomes from Viant is a new way to advertise that prioritizes your bottom line. Our AI-driven technology looks past the noise to find the customers most likely to buy your product. It's smarter, faster, and designed for real-world results. It's smarter advertising made simple. Visit Viant.ai.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Rush working for crosstown eastbound make way past Portland Avenue off to the right side. That's hoping to keep things slow as you come in from Highway 100. If you're going to be traveling 94 westbound, crash work in your Highway 280. That's affecting the right lane. It's already slow as you make way past 280 into Minneapolis. Trey Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
It's By the Yards anniversary sale. Get exclusive savings on everything through April 27th. Upgrade your outdoor space with beautiful furniture built to last. Shop now before the savings are gone. And remember, with By the Yard, life is better outdoors.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
No watches or warnings right now. We're under that special weather statement in some parts of the area, warning of the potential for hail. A severe thunderstorm threat is out there for sure, and that large line of storms is just sort of hanging out just past St. Cloud, closest to the metro area. Rain will subside by 8 p.m., low of 46. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and cooler. It'll be 63 degrees here on CCO.
Jason DeRusha.
One of the greatest human beings I've ever been around. He's just a wonderful human being. He's very caring. He's very loving.
Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Premium high octane, if it had wings, it'd be a plane. We're gonna take her out and fly tonight.
So the governor of Minnesota was on Jimmy Kimmel live last night, and I have no problem with that. It's fine, right? Just like when the mayor of Minneapolis was doing some national TV, The Daily Show. Fine. It's fine. Like, it's good for the state to be in the national profile. It's fine. It doesn't upset me. And we have a lieutenant governor who is running for U.S. Senate, who, according to the Star Tribune, is essentially in a standoff with the governor, has either been frozen out or has been removed since the governor lost the vice presidential election. The governor launched a PAC trying to get Democrats elected and Democrats in small towns all over the country. He told Jimmy Kimmel he's writing a book. Who's running Minnesota? Is it okay with you guys that it is April and the Walz-Flanagan administration is going to be in office until January? As far as I can tell, nobody's really that hands-on. Everybody's like, we're off working on our other stuff. What's going on? Here was a little bit of the governor with Jimmy Kimmel last night.
No, I think they wanted to roll this out, and I think they wanted to get a response from people that created violence so that they could use the Insurrection Act. I mean, this guy's an authoritarian, and that was his goal.
And boy, so much credit to the people of your state for the way that
they You're welcome. You're welcome. Dan, congrats. Laura, good job. I don't know how we get around this. What is the better solution? Maybe it's shorter election seasons. Like, I get it. When you're in this time period where there's not, the legislature, what are they going to do? They're evenly divided. Nothing's going to, it's just, I don't like it. I don't like it. I do like Continental Diamond. Continental Diamond time check. It is just about 3:58. Time to get over to St. Louis Park. Get yourself a beautiful luxury timepiece. Get it at ContinentalDiamond.com.
For all the things you have to do and places you need to be,
let Uber take you there. Because you had just one more 3 rounds ago. Because the 5 a.m. flight seemed like a good idea at the time. Because check engine lights always appear at the worst possible times. And because parking downtown is a nightmare. Because there are nights out, airport trips, and car troubles in your area, there are drivers in your area. Uber. Request a ride today. Wait time varies. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Gas prices are up, and Luther Kia of Bloomington can help you out. It's Jason from my Luther Kia of Bloomington team. I drive the Kia. I love it. Dan Dingman can guide you into a hybrid SUV getting more than 35 miles per gallon, or take a look at the plug-in and electric options. If you need the power of gas, I just test drove a Telluride third row, high-tech, affordable luxury. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com to see what's on the lot, or stop in at 35W and 494 and tell them Jason sent you.
There's a new kind of energy at Starbucks. When your day needs a reset, try the all-new energy refreshers. Strawberry acai, mango dragon fruit, or the all-new mango strawberry. The refreshers you love, now with extra caffeine. New energy refreshers only at Starbucks.
We asked parents to share their journey of adopting teens.
They changed who I am because I can't see life without them in it.
Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Staples has hundreds of ways to grow your business this spring, like spectacular signs, brilliant brochures, eye-popping posters, mouth-watering menus, and more. Shop now through June 13th and save up to $150 on all your custom prints. Staples. That was easy.
More than just news. It's the why behind the headlines. News Talk 830 WCCO. 1029 HD2, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Shots ring out at the Mall of Louisiana in Baton Rouge. Multiple people are injured. CBS's Allison Keyes has the latest.
Police Chief T.J. Moore says 2 groups at the mall started shooting after an argument inside of the food court.
We're going to run down every single lead that we can to get these people in custody.
Mayor Sid Edwards says,
to the thugs who did this, we're going to catch you.
It's the second instance of gun violence in Louisiana this week. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
As wildfires rage in southern Georgia, CBS's Skylar Henry is checking out the damage in Waynesville, where some residents did not have time to grab much, if anything, as the flames move toward them.
Everything is leveled. Cars, the homes themselves, there are structures that continue to show the devastation, and you see people's personal belongings, a stove, there's a propane tank, we've seen bicycles.
Forecasters say more than 15 million people across the central United States are under fire weather alerts through tomorrow, as a combination of heat, dry air, and strong winds fuel risks of extreme wildfire behavior. The NTSB has released a preliminary report into the March 22nd crash at LaGuardia Airport between an Air Canada jet and a fire truck. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
Federal investigators say the firefighter whose truck collided with the jet heard an air traffic controller warn stop, but didn't know who it was for. After that initial warning, the truck's turret operator heard the controller say truck 1, stop. But by that time, the truck was already on the runway as the Air Canada flight was landing and speeding toward it.
President Trump rules out striking Iran with a nuclear weapon. CBS's Linda Kenyon at the White House.
President Trump often says Iran should never have a nuclear weapon and became visibly irritated when he was asked if he would ever use such a weapon to end the war.
Why would I use a nuclear weapon when we've totally, in a very conventional way, decimated them without it? No, I wouldn't use it. A nuclear weapon should never be allowed to be used by anybody.
The president added he won't rush to end the war, holding out until he gets what he calls a great deal. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Pope Leo is urging the U.S. and Iran to return to talks to end the war. In a wide-ranging press conference on his way home from his trip to Africa, he also condemned capital punishment. President Trump's acting attorney general has signed an order reclassifying state-licensed medical marijuana as a less dangerous drug. Loyola Law School professor Lori Levinson on some of the impacts as a result of the change.
Cannabis probably will be studied more for its medicinal effects, but it will certainly ease the tax burden on those businesses that are involved in cannabis sales.
This is CBS News.
What is going on?
What's going on here? How is this possible?
Great storytelling starts here.
Oh, come on.
Why? It's time for 60 Minutes.
Minnesota's trusted voice. Every hour, let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Cloudy, humid, 71 degrees at 4:03. I'm Laura Oakes, and we do have some storms starting to pop up in Minnesota, moving into the Twin Cities over the next few hours and into the evening. National Weather Service meteorologist Tyler Hasenstein says the system is expected to bring high winds up to 60 miles per hour in some places.
You could have some hail that's as high as about quarter size, so your 1 inch to maybe inch and a quarter sized hail. There are a couple of tornadoes possible, but as far as the Twin Cities goes, it'll probably be once it develops into a line, that threat reduces quite a bit, and that's going to be what's primarily happening over the Twin Cities.
WCCO TV meteorologist Chris Schaefer will have the very latest in weather at 4:08. Tensions running high this afternoon at Minneapolis City Hall with the city council sparring over the future of Todd Barnett, the city's public safety commissioner.
The council failed to reach a 9-vote supermajority required to override Mayor Jacob Fry's veto of their previous rejection of Community Safety Commissioner Todd Barnett. This vote prevents the immediate dismissal of the commissioner. Tensions flared as members accused Council President Elliott Payne of overstepping his authority by filing a vision letter that critics claimed misrepresented their views on the issue. Ward 4 council member Latricia Vitaw.
I would not say some of these things in this letter, that it further harms the commissioner by putting it in the record and saying that this is our vision. This is not my vision.
The council must now decide whether to introduce a new motion to formally approve or reject the appointment, while Barnett continues to serve in a holdover capacity. Taylor Rivera, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Also today, the council did approve a new ordinance extending the eviction notice period from 30 to 45 days due to the ongoing fallout from Operation Metro Surge. A previous ordinance extending that window to 60 days was vetoed by Mayor Jacob Fry. Councilmember Oreen Chowdhury urged Fry to not veto this one.
This is the bare minimum. We tried to pass 60-day pre-eviction notice. That did not prevail, very disappointingly, even though it prevailed across the river in St. Paul. And we watered this ordinance down and came to a compromise of adding 15 days.
The mayor has instead advocated for funding to help those facing eviction. The Ramsey County Attorney's Office releasing an evaluation of itself.
In many ways, the work that we do sometimes can be kind of mysterious.
Ramsey County Attorney John Choi is pulling back the curtain in his office, releasing more information about how they decide which cases to prosecute, in which cases they don't.
I think the public would assume that a crime's been committed, the police are called, and the prosecutor should prosecute everything that the police sends to them.
But that's not the case. He says the report showed that from 2018 to 2024, a little over 61% of cases were charged, 38% declined. The most common reason, not enough evidence. And the idea behind all this, he says, is transparency is important. It helps make the system more accurate and trustworthy. Susie Jones, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Police say 2 men in their 20s are in custody following a chase that started in Bloomington and ended in a crash on Highway 100 in Golden Valley during rush hour this morning. Traffic cameras show both jumping out of a stolen SUV, leaping a barrier, and running across 3 lanes of oncoming traffic. Both suspects in the hospital after being treated for injuries. WCCO News Time is 4:06.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
94 westbound is midway past Highway 280. It's a multi-car crash that's into the right lane. Traffic slows as you come in from Highway 280 itself, and then eastbound, a little bit of a Gawker delay past there, heading over to Snelling Avenue. Watching the crosstown, got your slowdowns there. Eastbound run of the crash near Portland Avenue up to the right side. 494 slows both directions between 35W and Highway 100, and the USPS Ground Advantage reliable routes going to be South 494. Holding at the posted speeds, Tamarack Road, all the way down to Highway 3. Sherry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Washburn Reprieve invites you to a free seminar for pre-planning your funeral and cremation services to help protect your family in the future. Enjoy food, visit with speakers from the Glen Haven Chapel, Friday, April 24th at 11:30 a.m. at Pub 42, New Hope. For information, go to washburnreprieve.com or call 612-377-7841.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Washburn McCreevy Funeral, Cremation, and Pre-Planning Services. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
The severe thunderstorm watch does include the Twin Cities metro till 8 p.m. Hail and wind are the main concerns as a cold front will be passing across the area. Things clear out tonight. We'll fall back to 46. Plenty of sunshine tomorrow, but notably cooler. Only a high of 63. Our highs will stay in the 60s this weekend.
Cloudy right now, 71 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
If staying informed feels like a full-time job, you're doing it wrong. Hey, clock out and tune in. News Talk 830 WCCO. Good questions. Topics you'll probably talk about at dinner. Places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRusha. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington. Now, here's Jason DeRusha.
Even when you've got the Wild and the Wolves in the playoffs, there's nothing bigger than the Minnesota Vikings. It's just the reality. Welcome to Drive Time. It's Jason. Dan is here. Laura's here as well. We'll keep an eye on the Storms as they head closer to the Metro Twin Cities. Expect them to be arriving, pretty soon. Pretty soon. So let us know. You can text in if it really starts coming down at 651-461-9226. Let's turn to the NFL draft. The Vikings with a very unusual draft this year, especially because they don't have a general manager. A different scenario, and to get some insight, nobody better than Alec Lewis, who covers the Minnesota Vikings for The Athletic. And he's with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. Alec, your nightmare of writing what if stories is finally coming to an end.
Yeah, first of all, good to be on with you, Jason. It is funny that this event, which could probably be done over a computer in 35 minutes, becomes 4 hours and a television spectacle. But it's been a long road to get here, and I can't wait for the picks to happen and have some new players to write about.
All right, I have to first ask you about the latest story that you wrote, published to theathletic.com just today at about 11:50. And the headline is NFL Draft 2026 Pick Tracker. So this is just like an intro. This story is going to be filled with information as the Vikings make their pick. But
that's exactly right.
But the placeholder photo on this page, have you seen what the editors at The Athletic put on this page here?
I have not, and I would love to know or to find out here that it is just a normal photo of some backup defensive tackle, but I'm sure you're going to tell me it's not.
It's not. If you're watching on our video stream on YouTube at the WCCO radio page, you can see just a couple of Vikings cheerleaders having the time of their life right in the middle. It's a surprising click. I mean, I clicked on it. I'm not that strong of a man, Alec, you know?
Sure. I don't choose. I was explaining this to somebody the other day. Like, I don't choose the header pictures. I also don't choose the strategy of having a tracker throughout 3 days when I am also writing 47 stories a day. So, that is a top-down approach from the beacon of journalism.
You know, I mean, you got to watch it. You know, at The Athletic, if there are strict ethical standards for
Absolutely.
The NFL reporters, so you got to be careful.
There are, and I have worked too hard for 12 years to allow, anything to get in the way of doing what I love. So,
no shenanigans. You, just for the record, you've never dated an NFL coach, correct?
That has not happened. Dating is sparing in my life regardless.
I mean,
and
you know what? This makes no sense to me. I feel like you'd be a tremendous catch.
I mean, you would think that. And then once you have, hour-to-hour conversations about the off-ball linebacker who's going to be available at 82, then you lose them a little bit.
It's a tough. Let's talk about the needs for the Minnesota Vikings in this draft because the needs are many. I read in one of your preview stories that over the last 3 years, the Minnesota Vikings have made only 4 draft picks in the top 100. They've mostly been trading away their day 2 picks. That's a wild statistic.
It's crazy. And there have been a lot of numbers, I would say, over the last couple of days where I'm just, trying to do as much research as I can going into this thing. And you come up with these numbers. And I mean, I know the drafts have been bad. I cover the team every day. It's a lot of my life and I care about it deeply. But you see some of these numbers, like they've only made, to your point, 4 picks in the top 100 in the last 3 years. You see numbers like there's only 6 of their 61 players who were drafted in the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th round, which is like the lowest in the NFL by a wide margin. So all of that stuff places an immense premium on the results in this specific draft. They have 9 picks. They have 4 in the top 100. Trade backs, could potentially create more beginning tonight. We'll see what happens. And I mean, I'd expect them to come out of this with a big-bodied pass catcher, a safety, potentially a center, a lot of different positions that could help provide depth to a roster that really needs it.
What is your sense of how different the dynamic is with Rob Brzezinski, a longtime Minnesota Vikings front office employee? He's sort of running point on this while the Vikings don't officially have a GM after the Wilfs fired Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah. How different is this dynamic, or do we not really know yet?
Yeah, I mean, you have some semblance of an idea just of conversations the last few weeks in terms of like how their draft prep has worked. I would say that anybody who believes that now Kevin O'Connell and Brian Flores just all of a sudden have a massive voice would be overstating or maybe understating just the amount of influence they've had the last couple of years. I would say if anything is different, it is that Rob Brzezinski is using, I would say, his experience and his awareness to try to work with all parties involved, scouting staff and the coaching staff, to get everything at a place that removes subjectivity and strong opinions that cloud judgment. And it's a hard thing to do because as I tell everybody, the draft is like this cocktail of, opinions and uncertainty and ego. And I mean, it is a wild event that, again, is extremely silly, and it requires a level of objectivity, I think, in the end, that leads to the best decisions, which, I'd say over the past couple of years, there have been so many opinions and there have been so many picks made to satisfy opinions as opposed to just taking players who are viewed and scouted as maybe the highest level of potential.
Yeah, I think that's always the debate, right? Do you take best available or do you take best available for your need? And for the need of this team, what would you say are the biggest early needs that the Vikings face?
Yeah, defensive tackle for me just jumps off the page because they have a guy, Jalen Redmond, who has really been phenomenal over the last couple of years, really came on this year. But besides him, it's a pretty thin group with a bunch of late round picks. So defensive tackle, safety, Harrison Smith's future remains up in the air. The fact that he hasn't declared one way or another to this point is not a surprise to anybody internally. He's just going to take his time with it. So safety, and then center. They lost Ryan Kelly to retirement, and they've got some depth there with Blake Brandel, but it would be nice to draft a center of the future. So this roster has a lot of holes, and while there is still a lot to like when you're talking about Justin Jefferson and Christian Darrisaw and some of the cornerstones on defense, youth is absolutely necessary to start to transition this into another stage into the future.
We're not talking about quarterback really on draft night, at least, right? You got a pretty busy situation there with Kyler Murray now, the likely favorite to start, right?
Yeah, I would say so. They are framing it as a competition, and I understand why. It's probably going to drive maximum commitment and motivation from all parties to reach their ultimate potential. But yeah, the one thing about not talking about quarterback tonight is that it makes, when you're after a quarterback, you all kind of know it, and there's only so many guys there. Whereas when you're not, and all of these positions are available, it's a major dart throwing exercise to kind of project what a team is going to do, which makes it in many ways fun. But then when you do 7 mock drafts, you get a little out there.
Alec Lewis is with us. The Vikings probably picking a little after 9:00, right? The 18 should fall around that time.
I mean, yeah, unless they trade back further, and it's kind of always they trade back, and fans I think tend to groan. But I've always been, after studying a lot of this, like the trade back for me is the smartest scenario because that allows you to have more darts to throw, and this is such an uncertain inexact science. So yeah, I'd say 9:30, and then if it starts to get 10:30, then hopefully I've got a coffee in the media room probably.
Well, right. Are you guys at US Bank Stadium, or are you out at Wilf World in Egan?
Yeah, we are at the media bunker out at the TCO Performance Center. I'm not yet. I'm doing my workout because I have so much to do tonight, as you can imagine, being a sports writer. So, it's always fun. And
I feel like that was you talking as a single man again, just wanting to get the word out that at 4:19 in the afternoon, Alec Lewis is treating his body like the temple it is.
That's exactly right. You're just what I would say is like, as much as I can sometimes joke about this event and how big it is for how kind of silly it is. This thing does become the lifeblood of your team. So if you want the Vikings to be good and you're struggling on nights like these, the Vikings aren't going to be very good. So
it's huge.
Yeah, so it's fun. It'll be fun to see what happens at 18 or via trade back. That's for sure.
Very good. Alec, we appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Anytime. Thank you, guys. It was great to catch up. The Wolves game should be a blast, and I will talk to you guys soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Alec. Alec Lewis. You can read him at The Athletic. Follow him on social media. It'll be a fun night. 4:20 in just a minute, the end of the Basilica Block Party and why I don't care. We'll talk about it when we come back.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Maybe that was a little dramatic. I care enough to talk about it. It's Jason here. I will tell you what else I care about, and that is supporting Minnesota agriculture, supporting the 3,000 family farmers that make up the Minnesota Pork Board. These are our neighbors. These are fellow Minnesotans who love this state so much, who are working so hard to take care of their pigs, their people, and the planet. We've had the pleasure to meet so many kind of 3rd, 4th generation family farmers who are, they care about the same stuff we do. They're using the latest technology to make sure that they're protecting the soil and protecting nearby watershed and using as few natural resources as possible to raise that lean, high protein, delicious Minnesota pork. Now, the main thing about pork is that flavor. Oh, I love how versatile it is. You can use pork as a base for Asian recipes, Mexican recipes, and of course, barbecue. Oh, it's barbecue season. And if you need some inspiration, get to tastewhatporkcando.com. Tastewhatporkcando.com. Recipes galore. But go to your grocery store and your butcher shop. Let's have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight. Oh, yeah.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't suffer through foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store. The Good Feet Arch Support System is designed to relieve pain and stress in the body with over 350 styles and sizes. Located in Maple Grove, Burnsville, Woodbury, and Roseville. Call 855-554-3338 or stop in for your complimentary fitting. In as little as 40 minutes, you could be walking out pain-free.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
You know when your air conditioner chooses the hottest day of the year to quit? Yeah, that's exactly what a proper tune-up helps prevent. At Metro Heating and Cooling, our complete professional AC tune-up is just $109 because we do more than the bargain guys. We inspect the system, test performance, clean critical components, and catch small problems before they turn into expensive breakdowns. So before the heat really hits, protect your comfort, your wallet, and your family. Call 214-304-7658 now and schedule your 109 AC tune-up with Metro Heating and Cooling. Done right the first time, so you stay cool all summer long.
They look hot, they drive like a dream, and the value? You've got to get to Luther Kia Bloomington. It's Jason DeRusha. I just brought my Kia in for service there. It was such a great experience. My Kia's as good as new. Dan Dingman and the Luther Kia Bloomington team, just the best. From the 35 miles per gallon hybrid Kia Telluride and Sorento SUVs to the under $30,000 K5 sedan. Check out your dream car today at LutherKiaBloomington.com or stop in and tell them Jason sent you.
Lowe's has the brands pros trust to get the job done. You can now shop new Catalyst fencing solutions and save big when you do. 10% off when you buy in bulk. Plus, save $180 on a DeWalt 12-inch dual bevel sliding compound miter saw. Now just $449. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/6 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Drive Time with DeRusha, where the conversation's always in drive. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington on News Talk 830 WCCO.
We're keeping an eye on a storm cell near Becker. National Weather Service saying they're seeing some low-level rotation, not quite to the level of putting out a severe thunders or a tornado warning or anything like that. But they're watching it, and so are we. So just wanted to bring you up to date on that situation. There is a severe thunderstorm warning in parts of Benton, Mille Lacs, and Sherburne counties. And that does cover sort of the Foley, Princeton, Becker, Clear Lake part of town. This line of storms, it's sizable, and lots of angry red and orange on the live radar, kind of working its way into St. Michael, Elk River, Malacca. It's pretty directly north to south.
But definitely impacting western Hennepin County now.
Yep.
Which is the first time it's kind of crawled into that close to the metro area. And there's more cells behind it. There's a long line that stretches, like you said, southwest into Iowa. So there's more rain to come.
Yep. And this is, if you're downtown thinking about going home from work, whether it's downtown Minneapolis or St. Paul, it's probably not a bad time to make your way.
Yeah, you'd be fine for now.
You're fine now. JP will keep you up to date on the traffic, of course, moving forward. So officially, we got news last night that the Basilica block party is officially over. And what a run, right? A great run. And I've been to the Basilica block party many times. I was married at the Basilica of St. Mary. So I love this building. I love the Catholic community at the Basilica of St. Mary. And I love the fact that over 25 years, it's 25 years of doing it, over 3 decades probably, because we were off and on post-COVID of whether they were going to do it or not. But I love the fact that so much money was raised to restore this building. But I am a little perplexed at how emotional some people are at the end of the Basilica block party, including this reporter from KARE 11.
On a personal note, I'm going to miss an event like Basilica because it really helped make some of these artists accessible. You know, this was really an intimate setting for small and big time artists alike to play and connect with fans. And it's a real loss for the Twin Cities music scene. Follow Care 11 for more.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know about that. Is it a real loss for the Twin Cities music scene? I think there's some emotion here, sort of similar to how people have that reaction when a drive-in movie theater closes. Maybe I'm just not seeing it, but when I look at the number of music festivals that there are right now, the opportunities to come together as a community, have we ever had more? From small venues to large festivals, you know, you had the Basilica Block Party. Now you have, well, there's a whole outdoor amphitheater in Shakopee, the Mystic Lake Casino Amphitheater. Is that what it's called, Dan? I think so. That is under construction right now. And so you've got the Yacht Club. I always want to call it the Yacht Rock Festival.
No, it's the Yacht Club Music Festival.
But the Yacht Club Music Festival is, you know, that's a pretty big deal. And that's fairly new.
Like you said, big names coming to that Mystic Lake Amphitheater. They're building an amphitheater in Minneapolis that's going to draw some crowds. There's plenty of places to get outdoors and see live music. It's not like this is the end of it.
The last festival was at Boom Island Park in 2024. They didn't do it in 2020. They didn't do it in 2022. They didn't do it in 2023. So the last time it was at the Basilica was 2021, 5 years ago. I like, thanks for coming. Thanks for the.
It's a great bit of nostalgia now.
But it's all right. Like, we
can do other things.
Lakefront Music Festival.
Yep.
Says a texter. In Prior Lake, that's gigantic for sure. Do you guys feel like we need more music festivals? Now, a texter says those aren't free. Basilica wasn't free either.
Right.
You had to buy tickets for Basilica. That's how they raise money to fix the Basilica. It's not free. I just think we have so many options today. And to have, now, for Lakefront to do this, amazing. But let's also be realistic about how music festivals are put on today. So having a bunch of volunteers sort of organizing a music festival at the Basilica, it's just not, it's so expensive. It's not realistic. And I don't know. I think that the options for people to go see big concerts are tremendous. I do agree. Like, have these things gotten out of line and how much they cost? Yes. Yeah, it's expensive. But you know what else is expensive? Hiring security, hiring the sound people, paying for a stage to be constructed, hiring the tents. All of this is, everything's expensive. I had a graduation party in my backyard and couldn't believe how much money it cost to rent a tent and some tables. So imagine what it costs for these sorts of things. I just think, like, what the Basilica did with Basilica Block Party has been tremendous. It was a signature event. And I also think, like, it's okay to have a season for things. And we say, you know, you can look back fondly on all the Catholic girls and guys that you hit on over the years trying to walk down the aisle at the Basilica. And, you know, we'll see you at the next thing. I think it's going to be fine. I hope David Peterlins is okay. Like, he really sounded very emotional about that. Where was that video from? Where do I get more emotional interviews from local news reporters?
That was on the TikTok.
Beautiful. You gotta keep it fresh for the kids. You can't just do a thing. You can't just Major Garrett it and just witness history. You have to be a part of it too. Let's break. We'll keep you up to date as these storms work through the Twin Cities. Let us pray. We're going to be fine. We're all going to be fine without the Basilica Block Party. DeRusha Eats coming up in a minute. Story in the news today got me thinking about the best food price hack. The way you save money on dinner, whether it's for your family, whether it's for yourself. I need your cheap kind of secrets. So we'll talk about that, and I'll explain why I'm thinking about that. It's something that is for sure one of my favorite price hacks. We'll talk about it coming up.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
You know, would you go to like a Chris Lindahl music, Arms Wide Out music festival? I feel like Lindahl could, yeah, why not? Where's the, what would we call this? What would we call the Lindahl Music Festival?
Arms Out Fest.
Arms Out Fest. Probably. Arms Out Fest. It's Jason and Dan for Chris Lindahl and the Arms Out Fest. So here's how the Arms Out Fest would work. Instead of like going to Ticketmaster or something, waiting in some long queue, hoping that your pre-sale, your special time comes up, you would just go to chrislindahl.com, click a button, and boom, it'd be done. Because that's about as easy as it is to sell your house when you do that at chrislindahl.com. More and more Minnesotans are saying yes to the guaranteed cash offer and yes to the big red check. And the reason is clear. Nobody wants to deal with the headaches that come with the real estate market. Nobody wants to deal with the uncertainty that comes with the real estate market up and down and interest rates up and down. And is the inspection going to find this? And do you have enough money to upgrade this fixture because people aren't going to? It's a headache. Anybody who's ever listed a house on the open market knows that. Chris Lindahl is dedicated to making it quick and easy. Headaches are his. Big red check is yours. Get to chrislindahl.com. Get your guaranteed cash offer. At the least, get your free smart seller guide to see if it makes sense for you. chrislindahl.com today.
You've got a 20-minute commute to catch up on the news by scrolling.
You won't believe what happened. Here's what people are saying. Reaction to the reaction. Full story in bio. Sponsored. Follow for part 2? I feel like I just read a lot and learned nothing.
Or just turn on CCO. Real conversations, better context, same drive, a different result. News Talk 830 WCCO.
Did you know a single blood donation can save 3 lives? Amazing, right? All it takes is a visit to your nearest Memorial Blood Center's location or blood drive. Whether you're donating blood, plasma, or platelets, nothing beats the feeling of being a lifesaver. Be the reason someone gets back to planting their garden, walking their dog, or simply enjoying another sunny day. Make an appointment today at mbc.org. Walk-ins are always welcome.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation. Innovative Basement Authority is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Chad back here with you on CCO. I want to talk insurance and the group I have trusted for 30 years. Not just me, my father, my boys. We have been with Amber Scholl and Associates the entire time. They are with American Family, and trust is the right word. When something awful happens with your business or your home or your car, you need people who are available. You need individuals who have a team, and they've handled every situation. Amber and her team have done that. Let's be honest. Insurance rates are complicated. You need someone who knows this business in all ways, And I wouldn't be with Amber for 30 years unless I totally believed in her. Call today, 651-738-4811, and tell me you heard this spot from Chad on CCO.
The word Corbin symbolizes Berufka's popular bedroom collection for people with foresight and intelligence to understand long-term value.
A queen bed is Craftsman direct priced from $21.75 or $91 per month for 24 months.
Corbin also means raven or crow, so it's time for me to fly.
Oh, Jim. Berufka's no gimmicks, haggling, or hard to understand pricing in Woodbury, Burnsville, and Minnetonka.
Decidedly different.
Don't miss the Gun Bingo Showdown. Join us April 25th at Rack Sports Bar in Burnsville. Doors open at 11. Bingo starts at noon. Get ready for great prizes and a fun-filled day. All for a great cause with Ducks Unlimited. Register now at mndu.org.
Staples has hundreds of ways to grow your business this spring, like spectacular signs, brilliant brochures, eye-popping posters, mouth-watering menus, and more. Shop now through June 13th and save up to $150 on all your custom prints. Staples. That was easy.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Got the dark skies and rain as you travel west 94, heading up into Rogers. Get ready for your slowdowns as you come away from Highway 610. 10 westbound slows as you make way into Anoka. Rest of the metro, actually not looking all that bad for the time being. You will find the slowdowns, though. Typical stuff, South 35W, 98th Street, down to Highway 13. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
With a well-designed will, trust, and estate plan, you can have peace of mind. Choose Matt Gutman of Gutman Law to give yourself peace of mind. Call him now, 612-895-1616 at gutmanlaw.com. Gutman Law, peace of mind today for tomorrow.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, looking at live radar right now. It looks like the heavy storms hitting Monticello and Zimmerman and Malacca, headed towards Cambridge, North Branch, Lino Lake, might clip the North Metro, like your Brooklyn Parks, your Maple Grove, but there's another system coming from the south. There's a lot going on. It's ripe out there. Here's Chief Meteorologist Chris Shea.
Showers and thunderstorms are possible till that cold front clears. Hail and wind, the main concerns. Things clear out tonight and calm down. 46 the overnight low. Plenty of sunshine for our Friday. It's going to be cooler, but the high still slightly above average, around 63. Mostly cloudy will match that high on Saturday. Rain showers moving in late Sunday.
68 in St. Paul, Minnesota. Just cloudy out there. Thanks to Gutman Law, Wills, Trust, and Probate for bringing us the weather.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
We've been doing this for years. It's stupid. It is not what regular people care about. It's just like an absolute circus.
On News Talk 830 WCCO. DeRusha, he has the eats.
Nobody brings you the Twin Cities restaurant scene like your favorite foodie. Now, Jason explores some of the great chefs, owners, and stories right in our own backyard. Drive Time now transitions into DeRusha Eats.
DeRusha Eats brought to you by the Minnesota Pork Board. Today, one of the few things that Democrats and Republicans in Washington, D.C. can agree on, and that is how freaking awesome the Costco hot rotisserie chicken is. It's got to be the best deal in food. You can go to Costco for $5, get a rotisserie chicken that is shockingly enormous. And right now there's a bipartisan bill that would allow people who are using SNAP benefits. So some people call them food stamps still, but it's that Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. It's the federal program. And a bipartisan group of senators, including Senator John Fetterman, Jim Justice, Michael Bennett, so a bunch of different senators, Republicans and Democrats, have said, yeah, this is a good use of SNAP money. Because I don't know about you guys, but I have bought that hot rotisserie chicken and you break that thing down, and you've got dinner for days. For days. Now, it has been $4.99 since 2009. So they lose money on this. And, they make money in your membership. They make money in all whatever, on and on and on. But the rotis got me thinking about kind of your bargains, the way that you are saving money when it comes to food. 651-461-9226. What is your money-saving hack? What is your Kirkland seasoned rotisserie chicken? Your way in a very expensive, let's be real, it's expensive to go out to eat. It's expensive to go to the grocery store. Yesterday, we were raising money for Second Harvest Heartland, their 24-hour harvest, because it's expensive and people are feeling the pinch. And so to me, this is a no-brainer. Who could be opposed to saying, yes, you can use food stamps on rotisserie chicken? It's brilliant. You're like, absolutely. Now, generally speaking, the reason that food stamps are not allowed for rotisserie chicken is that, the idea is that you go cook, you get food for your family, not that you're going to the grocery store and you're going to the hot and ready bar and taking home a pasta dinner or something. Although I guess what's the difference?
Well,
Like,
and
to
our-
me, I don't really care.
Our good friend Dave Harrigan talks all the time about how far he can milk a rotisserie chicken with his family.
Right.
So he's taking care of his family with that. That should count. 100% that should count. One of the ways that I've tried to beat the prices these days, and this is going to sound like I'm pimping for one of your ads here, but I'm really, really not. Ground beef, obviously, those prices are through the stinking roof.
Yeah.
So when I have a recipe that calls for a pound of ground beef, what I'll do is I'll buy a pound of ground beef and I'll buy a pound of ground pork, cut each in half, and do halves on two different recipes. Yeah. And that stretches in ground pork is much cheaper than ground beef right now. And that stretches the dollar out quite a bit. And really flavor is no different at all.
Yes, you mix it
as long as you mix it together. Yeah.
The cost of beef is sort of astonishing.
It's crazy.
And the reality is when you go to the grocery store and see like I don't know, if you go to Cub or Kowalski's or Lund's and you see like the cost of a steak, I don't know. I look at it right now and you're like, I may as well go to Manny's. Like, yes, this is, you're going to spend $30 a pound on like a ribeye? I don't think so. What is ground pork right now? It's probably about, I'm looking it up. Ground pork at Cub is $5. Oh, that's pork sausage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hormel ground pork is $4.99. One of those tubes, and you buy one, you get one free. Ground beef is $8 a pound.
So I mean, it's like half.
Yeah. That's significant.
Yeah.
That's significant.
So you start doing the math on that. If you do a couple of meals or a couple of different dishes, right, with leftovers, and just half and half it, much cheaper.
Now this is a good tip. I'm asking for your money saving ideas when it comes to either eating out or buying food at home, inspired by the Costco rotisserie chicken. $5. I mean, have you ever had that Costco rotisserie chicken?
I have not, because I don't.
It
shop
would be
at
an
Costco
absurd-
because
yeah.
it's just me.
I could get you one.
You could.
Would you eat a rotisserie chicken?
Yeah, I probably would.
So what I do is my first meal with it is going to be hot chicken. And then my second meal is going to be shredded chicken that sat in the fridge on a salad. And then my third meal is going to be like some sort of salsa taco scenario with the chicken. And that's like right there.
There you go.
And it's me and Alyssa back when the kids were around. You're like, that's a lot of, and then you could go quesadilla. You could
Lots of
go,
options.
Yeah, chicken. Greg's Meats in Hampton, a texter says, already has pork and hamburger mixed together for much expensive price.
That's a great idea. If you're like a local meat market,
that's
smart.
I've never seen
supermarket,
that.
That's really smart.
That's pretty good. 651-461-9226. Texter says, this is the land of 10,000 lakes. Find a good one and go fish. I do wonder, because look, the eggheads will tell you that the price of food has dipped. Like the last time we had our guy from Old National Bank on, he was telling us that the consumer price index saw a little bit of a drop, but I haven't seen that at the grocery store.
No.
And 1%, 1/10 or 0.2%, we don't feel that.
Well, and even if it's dipped a little bit, they spiked so hard that it's still way above what we were, quote unquote, used to paying for a lot of these products.
I wonder if more people will get fishing licenses.
It certainly makes a lot of sense. I can't clean the fish. It's just,
Oh, you don't like the cleaning?
No.
Last time I went fishing, my friend cleaned the fish for me. He did.
You got to find somebody that can do that for you, because I'm out on that. I'm sorry.
Walmart sells half pork, half hamburger too in 1 pound tubes. Cook chicken and chop it up, add vegetables and make chicken soup. That's a classic.
You can stretch it out that way for sure.
Texter says Target, Coburn, and Cub all have rotisserie. I like to call it rotisserie.
You do. You're hip like that.
Rotisserie chickens for $5.99. That's pretty great. That's a good money saver. Look, we're all trying to pinch pennies. Like, I get it. It is, in the scheme of things, there are other costs that we feel like we can't control. When the cost of electricity goes up, when the cost of gasoline goes up, yeah, you can control it around the edges, but you got to drive to work. You got to drive your kids to hockey practice. Like, there's not a ton that you can do about it. You can sort of make decisions with groceries. Let's break. Rick, stay on the line. We'll get you when we come back. 651-461-9226. Your money-saving food hacks next on Drive Time.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Do you finally want to upgrade your landscaping in your yard? It's Jason here. I've got the company that can help you out. It is Pro Turf, professionalturf.com. Proud to talk about Pro Turf. They have helped take care of my yard. So they do the lawn care bit with the weed control and the fertilizer. Just this week, they fired up my sprinkler system. So they'll take care of your irrigation system as well, service it, repair it, whatever. But they also do incredible landscape design. Absolutely beautiful work. We've had them do a couple of small projects around our house, which is one of the things that makes Pro Turf so special. Many landscaping companies are only going to do the massive job. Pro Turf will talk to you about any job. So if you want to rip out some sort of overgrown plants, they got you. If you want to upgrade your entire look, from the pavers, stone patios, to driveways, to a whole redesign or a retaining wall, they got you with that as well. Pro Turf has been in the Twin Cities for more than 40 years. You can trust they'll be there to take care of you and your home for this year and for many years to come. You can reach them at 952-469-8680 or head to the website. It is professionalturf.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't suffer through foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store. The Good Feet Arch support system is designed to relieve pain and stress in the body with over 350 styles and sizes. Located in Maple Grove, Burnsville, Woodbury, and Roseville. Call 855-554-3338 or stop in for your complimentary fitting. In as little as 40 minutes, you could be walking out pain-free.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
It's Tiki Barber with 2 words any business owner wants to hear: extra income. Amazon Hub Delivery is looking for ambitious business owners in your area to assist with local deliveries. You get paid for each package delivered. Amazon Hub Delivery has no startup costs, no long-term contracts, and no delivery experience required. If you're a local business ready to assist with Amazon deliveries, sign up today at amazon.com/hub delivery. That's amazon.com/HUB delivery.
The one real estate agent that really gets results, John Schuster of the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty. Paul joins us now. What was your experience like working with the Schuster Group?
We had heard a number of their radio spots on WCCO, and we also attended John and Paul Douglas's home selling seminar. Tim and Abby Lehman came out and met with us.
How were they?
I have one word, and that's exceptional. They went above and beyond our expectations. We put our house on the market on a Thursday morning, and within 48 hours, we had 7 offers. We were able to fortunately sell our house for over $50,000 over ask. John and his team deliver exactly what they say they're going to deliver. You know, I truly think these are people that have your best interest in mind. If we had to do this all over again, there's only one phone call I would make, and that'd be the John Schuster Group.
952-222-9000 online, johnschustergroup.com.
I've been burned before. I was just repeating the same patterns. It turns out I had a type.
Workplaces everywhere are looking for love. And by love, we mean the easy way to order food at work. Easy Cater.
I thought ordering from great restaurants at work had to be complicated, but then I met Easy Cater. So many options, so flexible, and when I ordered for 50 gluten-free vegans without going over budget, I knew I'd found the platform I wanted to do life and lunch with.
Fall in love with Easy Cater. Start an order at easycater.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-939-1441. 800-939-1441.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Got some problems for Highway 10 eastbound near 7th Avenue up in the area of Anoka with a multi-car crash working. Right now, the highway is currently closed, the eastbound lanes. You can grab the ramps to and from 7th Avenue, but in the meantime, they're moving some emergency vehicles around. Tow truck hooking up to one of the vehicles involved, so that's why they have to close your traffic is jammed in both directions. Saving Organics at Whole Foods Market. Get a 16-ounce container of organic strawberries for $4.79 each with Prime through May 5th. They're the perfect topping for pancakes, yogurt bowls, and more. All supplies last. Shop in store or online. Terms apply. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hungry? Go to Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan for real Texas barbecue. All meats smoked fresh in-house daily. You can dine in, take out, have it delivered, or have your event catered anywhere in the metro. Just go to Dickeys.com. Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
CCO forecast brought to you by Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan. The major storm activity headed towards Shakopee right now. Victoria, Chanhassen, that area seeing rain. And then up to the north, Zimmerman, Princeton, Cambridge, Mora coming towards you. No warnings to be aware of, but this should subside after 8 o'clock tonight. Tomorrow, 63 is the high. Right now, it is 68 in Minneapolis on CCO.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
We're talking about saving money, your hack when it comes to food. I'm a big believer in the Costco rotisserie chicken, $5. Rick is in St. Paul. Rick, how do you save money when it comes to food?
Well, those chicken deals are a great deal. And like you've said before, too, you can use it in so many different ways. But I had a comment on the customer, a person that called and talked about Greg's with the mixture of pork and beef.
Oh, yeah.
Their pork and beef is 70% beef and 30% pork. And it's a great way to save because you can make your meatloaf out of it, meatballs out of it after you add your seasonings and whatnot. And they've got ground pork there is like $3.49 a pound, and they have different flavors, and they grind it fresh there.
Oh,
and
cool. That's the best.
I'm kind of plugging them because I used to work for them part time.
Oh, I love that. I tell you,
they're just
like, if you have a good meat market, like, that is such a win, right? Osseo Meats is sort of my go-to, but you got Hackenmuller's. I didn't know about Greg's, but I gotta go check it out. That's a lot of love for Greg's. I love it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the call. Continental Diamond time check. It is 4:57. D-Rush Hour News headlines coming up. Twins pregame on the air on your home for the Minnesota Twins from New York. Got to bounce back after that loss coming up at 5:30.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-909-9696. 800-909-9696.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. Ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account. When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything. Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
You just testified under oath you're getting more fiber in your diet, and it was easy. Where is this additional fiber coming from?
Mirafiber gummies.
Objection.
It's true. Mirafiber has 8 grams of fiber to help me get the fiber I need in a day, plus 4 B vitamins for metabolism support, all in one serving.
Overruled.
My gut rests its case.
Oh, that's my line.
Find Mirafiber today at your local retailer from the makers of Miralax. Mirafiber supports metabolism of carbs, fats, and proteins. Serving size is 4 gummies.
Protect your family with the Byrna Less Lethal Launcher. Easy to carry, simple to use, and incapacitates an attacker for up to 40 minutes. Visit Byrna.com. That's BYRNA. Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
Real news, real talk, in real time. News Talk 830 WCCO 1029 HD2, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by DEA Take Back Day.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Blustery winds are fanning the flames of a wildfire in southern Georgia. Brantley County Manager Joey Cason.
We currently have now 87 basically living spaces, living places that have been destroyed. If this fire doesn't shift, we could have more than that before dark tonight.
At least 5,000 acres have been charred, and the fire is only 15% contained. Cason warns.
We have folks that have been told to evacuate in the last 10 minutes. We need folks to understand they need to be prepared to evacuate. This is a dynamic fire that's changing.
Wildfires are burning in portions of Georgia and Florida. President Trump has announced a development in the effort to end the war between Israel and Iran. The latest from CBS's Linda Kenyon.
In a hastily called gathering of the press to the Oval Office, the president made this announcement about Israel and Lebanon.
They've agreed to an additional 3 weeks of, no firing, ceasefire.
Trump said he expected the Israeli and Lebanese leaders to meet with him over the next couple of weeks in the Oval Office, saying he also has high hopes for a peace deal this year. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Louisiana officials confirmed that 2 groups of people opened fire at each other inside the food court at the Mall of Louisiana in Baton Rouge. 1 person is confirmed dead by police, with 5 others hospitalized. Baton Rouge Police Chief Thomas Morse.
We have 5 suspects in custody. This is still an ongoing investigation, and we're still looking for more people that may be involved.
Baton Rouge authorities are receiving help from the FBI and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. A cannabis industry group is cheering President Trump's reclassification of state-licensed medical marijuana as a less dangerous drug. CBS's Allison Keyes reports.
The American Trade Association for Cannabis and Hemp says the president's action recognizes that cannabis is medicine. Loyola Law professor Lori Levinson says
the main impact right away will be on how it eases the tax burden on cannabis businesses.
The order signed by the acting U.S. Attorney General changes the way it is regulated and eases some barriers to research. Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
Meta said it plans to cut 10% of its global workforce, or about 8,000 staff, as well as cancel some open jobs, as it continues to invest heavily in artificial intelligence. CBS News tech contributor Ian Scher.
It's unclear how much further these types of cuts will go. It's clear that automation and AI coding tools are pushing a lot of what's happening in the tech industry. And there are a lot of businesses globally who say they intend to cut staff because of automation.
This is CBS News.
Help keep our community safe and healthy during National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, April 25th. Find a collection site near you at deatakeback.com.
Minnesota's trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Cloudy, 71 degrees at 5:03. I'm Laura Oakes. We are keeping our eye on the potential of some severe weather moving in. National Weather Service meteorologist Tyler Hasenstein on our severe thunderstorm watch.
The most likely conditions are going to be not only frequent lightning and some heavy rain as it pushes through. The potential for wind gusts up to about 60 or 70 miles per hour is the main expected hazard and probably the most likely to occur.
That watch is in effect until 8 tonight. Right now, most of the action northwest of the Twin Cities. Edina police reporting a fourth arrest in connection with a deadly shooting yesterday afternoon. It happened at a transitional housing complex for young adults near 66th and York, not far from Southdale Mall. Several businesses in the area were placed on lockdown for a time while police looked for suspects. 3 were arrested last night. Police say the victim and suspects knew each other. The Minneapolis City Council fails to oust Public Safety Commissioner Todd Barnett, with the vote to override Mayor Jacob Fry's veto falling short today. Councilmember Linnea Palmisano taking issue with President Elliott Payne over a letter he filed indicating no one on the council supported Barnett.
That's a concerning pattern raised before, that the council president uses a position to give preference to a particular faction of this body, acting more as the leader of a political coalition instead of a leader of the entire body.
Barnett will remain in his role for now, but the council now must decide whether or not to formally confirm him. The council did approve a new ordinance extending the eviction notice period from 30 to 45 days due to the ongoing fallout from Operation Metro Surge. The move is in response to a previous ordinance vetoed by Mayor Fry, which would have extended that window to 60 days. The mayor has instead advocated for actual funding to help those facing eviction. St. Paul Mayor Cully Herr's office announcing redevelopment plans for an eyesore at one of the city's busiest intersections. The site of the former CVS pharmacy on the corner of Snelling and University Avenues in the Midway neighborhood will be home to market-rate apartments and new retail. The project will be funded by Minnesota United owner Dr. Bill McGuire, who has already been investing in and redeveloping the area surrounding Allianz Field. And sports fan or not, you have probably heard we have 2 major events taking place in Minneapolis tonight.
There's the 2026 NFL Draft with a party being held at US Bank Stadium. There's Game 3 of the NBA playoffs between the Wolves and Denver. Which one you watching?
Timberwolves. At the end of the day, draft is draft. You never know how those players are going to shape out, and, it's playoffs.
I'll be tuning in the Wolves. I'm a basketball fan.
Both. My remote works well, so. So no one cares who the Vikings are going to draft?
Not really. I'd like them to get better and younger, but again, I don't really know if I have a particular person that they could pick and what goes.
I'm a Bears fan, so I'm the wrong person to ask. So it doesn't matter because the Bears will beat them up anyways. Yeah, we'll see about that come September. Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Where did Ari find these people?
I think he found them in and around Tom's Watch Bar over lunchtime today.
This is very funny.
I think, yes.
I don't know, I appreciate the honesty on the draft. I like watching the draft mostly to see what these guys are wearing.
Yes, it's big fashion
and
night,
the
isn't
moment, it's such a cool, family moment because in one instant, these guys in their family's life is changed forever.
Right.
Just
I
like
know.
in that moment when your name is called, you're like, you go from whatever. Most people who get drafted in the NFL are not rich.
Right.
And now you're like, I'm going to be rich.
And
Like, it's sort of amazing.
It is. And it's cool that all of us are finding out at the same time.
Yes.
You know, it's kind
I hadn't
of a
thought
cool
of that.
thing. Yeah.
There are in life, I think there are only a couple moments like that.
Mhm.
Maybe it's if you don't know the gender of your child
Right.
when you're having a baby. I think like a court, like when the verdict is read, that's always like sort of that
That's a
moment.
big one,
Like
yeah.
you don't know.
Right.
But like being drafted, like for especially knowing how much a family puts into that.
Yes.
It's not just the kid, it's the whole apparatus.
Yes.
To get to that point.
And when you see them all gathered around their TV in their living rooms, it's pretty cool.
It
Yeah,
is
I
cool.
agree.
Very good.
508 on WCCO.
Resources Pine Bend Refinery in Rosemont produces important transportation fuels used throughout the Midwest, but they're also active in the community. They support many programs and organizations that make Minnesota better. Go to FHR.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
And brought to you by Flint Hills Resources. A little bit of good news. Highway 10 eastbound near 7th Avenue. The crash is cleared out of the way. All lanes have been reopened. Still a little bit of congestion for that immediate area westbound as well. Driving along 94 westbound. Get ready for your slowdowns. Brockton Lane as you head up into Rogers. Highway 36. Watching the slowdowns there both directions right now between 35W and Lexington. Trey Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Right now for the month of April, Lindus Construction offering free installation on labor on GAF asphalt shingles and those great Leaf Guard brand gutters. Just call 8449-LINDUS, LINDUS, or lindusconstruction.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
And yes, it is brought to you by Lindus Construction, a single contractor and construction company for all your home improvement needs. lindusconstruction.com. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
The severe thunderstorm watch does include the Twin Cities Metro till 8 p.m. Hail and wind are the main concerns as a cold front will be passing across the area. Things clear out tonight. We'll fall back to 46. Plenty of sunshine tomorrow, but notably cooler. Only a high of 63. Our highs will stay in the 60s this weekend.
Right now in the Twin Cities, cloudy 72 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Everything you need to know, all in one place. News Talk 830 WCCO. He knows news. He knows talk. He knows nonsense, too. So get ready for a lot of each. This is Drive Time with DeRusha, fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Once again, here's Jason DeRusha.
Oh, you heard it from Laura. Big sports night. I was at the Wild playoff game at Grand Casino Arena last night. Oh, I made it through the first overtime period. I did not see the loss. Down 2-1. Wolves hoping to come up tonight. That's another late one. It's going to be another late night for Twin Cities sports fans. It's Drive Time with DeRusha. Before we dive into the lead, some breaking news from our friend Dan Hayes at The Athletic. A new survey of social media found that Minnesota Twins fans are among the most potty mouth of all Major League fans on social media. The Twins only trail the fan bases of the Oakland Athletics, the Boston Red Sox, the LA Angels, and the New York Yankees. We swear in 5.04% of Minnesota Twins posts. Dan, I've never noticed this myself.
No, that is kind of surprising to me.
I've never seen a Twins fan cuss.
Well, I mean, I've seen it, but
you're surprised by this? Have you seen?
No, I have. I am actually surprised by this.
I am not surprised by this, seeing the reaction that I get whenever I do an interview with the Poll Ads.
Well, yeah, but that's you. That's just people don't like you. That has nothing to do with the Twins.
Who do people dislike more, the ownership or DeRusha?
Unclear.
Unclear. You know what? F you. If we really had our production value up, you could have just like the random bleeping would have been very appropriate there. I am not surprised. But clean up your act, Twins fans. My God, you're not going to F your way into changing the ownership on social media. Knock it off. Let's do the D-Rush Hour News headlines.
The headlines you might have missed without missing a beat. This is your fast pass through the biggest and most impactful stories of the day. Welcome to the D-Rush Hour headlines, starting with the lead.
And the latest episode of Oh My God, I paid how much in tuition to send my kid to major in computer science. Meta, the parent of Facebook and Instagram, cutting 10% of the workforce.
You're fired.
Yeah,
Get out of here. You're fired.
Yeah. All those people that back in the day when they lost their jobs, everyone was like, well, just learn how to code. 8,000 employees gone. 6,000 open jobs also gone. Meta employs more than 78,000 people, or at least employed. But that's 14,000 jobs vanished. Woof. The AI kind of transition and disruption, I think it's going to be bigger than anybody quite has their arms around. If you are not conservative enough, if Michelle Fischbach is not conservative enough for you.
Thank you to Minnesota 7th District Republicans for your endorsement. We're ready to win in November.
That sounded so happy. Star Tribune reporting about the massive schism in the Republican Party in U.S. Representative Michelle Fischbach's 7th District in Western Minnesota. It's a years-long feud, anti-establishment activist. Michelle Fischbach is so conservative that she has never, ever come on this show. How many times have we invited her? More than 10.
A dozen at least, yeah.
Never. Everybody's scared of us. Come on. Lou Raguse reporting that the No Kings rally in St. Paul cost the city quite a bit of money. I don't know. This is to me, this is the job of police, this is the job of cities. But it is interesting to see how much it cost. $88,465 of overtime for St. Paul police for that No Kings rally. One other update from the Twin Cities Pioneer Press, and that is good news for the clothing company Evereve, which had announced it was leaving Grand Avenue.
That's why we're here, to help you fall in love with your style. Evereve, 2 women with love.
Evereve is thrilled to announce that they are opening a store in St. Paul again on Grand Avenue. They're moving across the street. It's going to be very good. It used to be the Pottery Barn site, and Evereve will be right on Grand Avenue. It'll be a better location for them and good for the avenue, too. 5:15. Big news when it comes to cannabis. The federal government making a move that makes pot maybe less illegal. We'll explain when we come back.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
I am going to Tureen Dermatology tomorrow morning with Alyssa. She's getting a full body skin checkup, and I'm getting a chance to say hi to Dr. Tureen. It's Jason here for my dermatologist, and they want to be your dermatologist, Tureen Dermatology. Tureen Dermatology has 10 locations all over the Twin Cities, and I tell you that because it means you can get an appointment there. You can get in within 3 weeks. This is a promise from Tureen and Dr. Mohiba Tureen that almost nobody, well, I don't know of anybody else that makes this promise. In fact, in Lakeville, before Tureen came to town, people were waiting 4 or 5 months on average to get into a dermatologist. Now, why is it important? Well, look at the Star Tribune just this week. Big story about melanoma in Minnesota and why we are in the top 3 states when it comes to new melanoma diagnosis. Don't take a chance with your skin. Make that appointment. You can request it online today. Do it at Tareen, Tareen, dermatology.com.
Growing a brand is hard, but reaching the right customers shouldn't be. Meet Outcomes from Viant. We've built an intelligent platform that handles the complexity of digital advertising for you. Powered by advanced AI, we help your brand show up in the right places at the right time and ensure that every dollar you spend leads to a real business result. It's smarter advertising made simple. Visit Viant.ai.
I never thought of myself as the type to settle down. Never knew where the team's next lunch was coming from. But then I met you, Easy Cater.
Workplaces everywhere are saying, I do want delicious food at work. And they're ordering from beloved restaurants with Easy Cater.
You were reliable. You had great options for every budget, even when marketing ops did keto again. We got through that together. With you, it's just so easy. Easy Cater, will you keep showing up at my workplace forever?
Find love at first lunch. Order at easycater.com.
And Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means playing in a football game.
Boom! 42! You're going down, Doug!
Oh, yeah? Your price on car insurance when you customize and save is going down.
Hey!
Limu? What are you doing on their team? Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
When you're in pain, you need the Good Feet store. Don't waste another minute suffering from foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store. You might feel the difference immediately.
I walked right into the Good Feet store and I tried the Good Feet Arch Support System, and my hip pain is gone.
The Good Feet Arch Support System is designed to put your foot in the most ideal position, redistributing the body weight more evenly, helping to relieve pain and stress in the body.
That nagging pain in my lower back, gone.
The Good Feet store has over 350 styles and sizes to relieve your pain.
I've always had bad knees. I've had 6 surgeries and I could never do a knee bend. Now I'm working out and it's just wonderful.
Located in Maple Grove, Burnsville, Woodbury, and Roseville. Call 855-554-3338 or stop in for your complimentary fitting. In as little as 40 minutes, you could be walking out pain-free.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
It's that time of year at By the Yard. Our anniversary sale is here. For a limited time, enjoy 10% off everything store-wide through April 27th. From timeless outdoor furniture to pieces built to last for decades, now's the perfect time to upgrade your space. Visit our showroom or shop online today. But don't wait. Sale ends April 27th. Make the most of the season. And remember, with By the Yard, life is better outdoors.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha
This sounds like torture to me.
on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Rush Hour News headlines going in depth now on a decision that was anticipated, but I got to know exactly what this means. The President of the United States is acting Attorney General, officially reclassifying state-licensed medical marijuana as a less dangerous drug. To get some clarity as to what this means, Jason Tarasek, who's a partner at Vicente LLP, one of the premier cannabis experts in the legal field, with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. Jason, we knew this was coming. The president had signaled he was going to do this. How does this impact things?
Yeah, it's a tremendous moment in the history of cannabis, I would say. It is, I would say, also a very confusing order. So it did come out earlier today, and we're all still sort of making sense of it in the industry. But yes, you did a good job clarifying the impact. As of this moment, because of this Department of Justice order that was issued, state licensed medical cannabis programs are now no longer on Schedule 1 of the Federal Controlled Substances Act. They're not legal, right? They're still federally illegal, but now they've been moved to Schedule 3, which essentially recognizes that medical cannabis has medical value, which the 40 plus states throughout the country, that including Minnesota, that have medical cannabis programs would obviously support. So big news in cannabis land today.
Schedule 1 is sort of the hardcore drugs that we think of, right? Like the heroin and the, meth and that sort of stuff would be a Schedule 1. What is in Schedule 3?
Yeah, I would say Schedule 1 are the things that can kill you, right? And cannabis never belonged there. Who knows why it was stuck there, but it is rightfully rescheduled now to Schedule 3, that other things that have, I would say, medical benefits. And like I say, there's a long proven track record, including here in Minnesota, that medical cannabis can help with a wide range of ailments, including intractable pain, PTSD, seizure disorders, things like that. I don't think there's any legitimate dispute anymore that medical cannabis has legitimate medical value. And fortunately, today, the federal government has acknowledged that.
And so this sort of legitimizes the medical marijuana program in the eye of the federal government, which to me, the most exciting thing is I would love to see some really rigorous university medical school style research into medical marijuana. I'd like to see it into recreational marijuana too. We have studies about it, but in the past, researchers would potentially be putting themselves at risk for liability, for jail time, right? Because it was a Schedule 3 drug.
Yeah, exactly. That's a very good point. And I began as a legalization advocate in Minnesota back in 2018, and working with legislators at the state capitol, it would have been very helpful for me to cite to peer-reviewed university studies. But like you indicate, cannabis has not been available for research because it's been on Schedule 1 for so long. And I often had to rely on anecdotes or, experiential statements. And
kind of you to do the research yourself, Jason.
Oh, yeah.
Very heroic.
It is my pleasure.
But now we'll get some real stuff to try to make a case or to try to correct course or take a look at, the difference in strength or the difference in strains. And I don't know. I think that's nothing but good. There is a business aspect to this as well when it comes to deducting your business expenses on your tax forms, right?
Yeah. So, and I guess it's important to draw a distinction of what's happening today. So yes, medical cannabis has been reclassified to Schedule 3. Adult use cannabis, some people call it recreational cannabis, as of this moment is still on Schedule 1. So that if you're on Schedule 1, that means if you're a cannabis business, you are not allowed to take deductions like other businesses can, simply because it's federally illegal. Moving it to Schedule 3, so for our 2 medical cannabis companies in Minnesota, they may now start deducting expenses for the first time that they were prohibited from doing.
Yeah. Interesting.
And that, for a lot of those businesses, for a lot of my clients here in Minnesota and nationwide, that what we call the 280E tax penalty often results in an actual tax rate of up to 60%. So you can imagine how happy they are today. I mean, it's hard enough to make it as an entrepreneur. It's hard enough to make it in cannabis, and it's really, really hard to make it in the face of that 280E tax penalty.
Jason Tarasak with Vicente Law. We appreciate you. Thank you for your time today, and we'll see how this continues to develop. All right, the Twins on the air, hoping to kind of get one from the Mets. I think Seth.
The rubber game.
I think Seth is at this game tonight in New York.
Tell him he Twins win or he's out of the family.
I will tell him that. I'll text him as soon as we're off the air.
I like it.
So check that out. Let's get a Wolves win tonight, a Twins win tonight, and get a good draft pick. Sounds good to me. Stay dry, everybody. Thanks for listening. No severe storms if you're checking in on that. Just big rain tonight, so be ready for that. And Big Dan and I will be back tomorrow.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by University of Maryland Global